So here's a short story that all you ex-husbands out there will definitely appreciate, and probably in varying degrees, you can relate to this. Where a wicked ex-wife definitely gets some karma after she made her marriage to her husband here absolutely miserable. There's nothing he could do that can make her happy. He was always a bad guy. Well, eventually, he divorces her for cheating, and now her kids want nothing to do with her, or barely anything to do with her, and she's upset and blaming this guy and all that. And I'll be going to go over here, guys, a little payback story here, but also the fact that, guys, if you're in a situation where nothing you can do will ever make your wife happy, she's always, we can all joke you're never going to make them happy because they love to complain, and there's a lot of truth to that, but when really everything you do and she's coming after you and giving you a hard time, she doesn't love you anymore, and she's miserable, and she's no doubt cheating. End it. Titled, Am I the A-hole for refusing to let my cheating ex-wife spend her birthday with me and our kids? He says, I'm 40 years old. I was married to Martha, a 40-year-old female, for over 16 years. We had 2 kids together in that time who are now teenagers. Our marriage ended after I learned of Martha's 3-year emotional affair with a man that she was talking to online. 3 years, guys, that's a long time. This was not the only reason our marriage ended, but explained the problems we'd been having. Martha and this man never met each other in person, and that was mentioned in the hopes I would try to work things out. Yeah, sure. Yes, they said a lot of things, and she had developed strong feelings for him, but they never met face to face. That was what I heard a lot of. Even without meeting or anything physical, it was way too much. She still cheated and treated me awfully. Yeah, right on both counts, but I simply just don't quite buy that nothing physical didn't happen with this dude or somebody else. He says, I couldn't do anything right. This next couple paragraphs, all you husbands out there, ex-husbands, will know what he's talking about. She complained I wasn't working enough to provide for us, and if I passed up on overtime, she'd give me hell for it. But she'd also complain I was working too many hours. Then she complained when I wanted to go out for date nights and accused me of taking away from time we could spend as a family with our kids or wasting money. Yet she complained when we didn't do something together. Our anniversaries were the worst. For the last 2 years of our marriage, she got mad at me for getting her gifts she loved and wanted. She'd say I was trying to show her up or make her feel guilty for not being as good of a wife as I was a husband. So right there in those 2 paragraphs, how many of you ex-husbands can relate to this? Nothing he does makes her happy. And it isn't just unhappy, she has to lash out every time. That tells me she's miserable, she's an a-hole, and likely she, in her view, and how she feels, she's trapped and is just punishing him for everything. This is a lot of marriages. The ones that don't get divorced, there's a lifetime of this crap. And guess who also sees all this? The kids. And yet this dude is sticking around with her, which he should be getting rid of her. We're not done. Whenever I spent time with our kids, she accused me of trying to poison them against her or win them to my side. At the time, I had no idea what she was talking about, and I told her. She said the kids always have a favorite parent, and I was trying to cement myself as theirs. She's doing a grand job making them see how much of a freaking witch, absolute hag of a witch, a harpy, whatever you want to call her, on her own. He's not doing anything. He can just sit back and let her be an asshole, and the kids can't stand her. Well, one day I asked her what she wanted from me because nothing I did was right anymore, and she told me I needed to learn when I was wanted and when I wasn't. Oh, what a loving thing for a wife to say. Because I was acting like a baby who wanted attention when I tried to make a big deal out of date nights. Man, she is just vicious. And oh yeah, smack to this dude for not ending it with her sooner. Guys, for God's sakes, you're watching this and you're married, and this sounds like your marriage, your wife treating you like this, probably the only reason you're staying with her is because of the kids. Well, that ain't worth it. More than once, she called me lazy when I refused to do overtime because we had something planned. The kids' birthdays and my birthday were days she did not like being there. On my birthday, the year before our divorce, our kids wanted me to take the day off so we could go to this festival that was in town for that day, at least that month. And I did, but she hated it. See? Not making her happy. Well, the truth came out when her sister had confronted me over something Martha said, and then I went to confront Martha, and she was messaging him when I got there. She confessed and showed me everything. I went through every message, and she begged to save our marriage, and she apologized for how she'd been treating me. Oh, okay. After all this time, the way she's been treating him, the way he described, now suddenly she's sorry, and wants to save the marriage. Has her behavior indicated in any way that the marriage is important to her, that this guy is important to her? No. She's caught. She knows they probably live in an at-fault divorce state. It probably sounds like her behavior. She knows her goose is cooked, and all of a sudden the waterworks, and I'm so sorry. Too late, honey. Martha and this man were exchanging I love yous on a daily basis, and she was talking to him at night while we were in bed together and I was asleep. Ooh, ouch. I mean, I gotta be honest here. This guy couldn't be that upset over this, and I don't think he was. He's probably like, thank you. Thank you, Jesus. I finally got a reason to ditch the bitch. They wrote out very emotional, intense, and graphic sexual situations that they imagine being with each other. What a loser. Look, if she was miserable, let me rephrase it. She was miserable, so she should have ended this. And then she'd go be with this guy. But no, she didn't want to be the one that was responsible for the divorce, so she was probably hoping that she was that miserable to this guy that he'd divorce her, then she could blame him. Guaranteed. Well, we divorced. Martha tried to fight it, but I told her I would not stay, and now you're a year out from our divorce, and Martha has still not let go. Our kids know about her affair. She confessed to them, and she apologized to them for the way she had treated me, which opened their eyes to some things they never witnessed. And as a result, they don't want a relationship with her, but they are still forced to see her 1 week in a month. There's her karma. Not only the divorce, which she really wanted anyway, now the kids don't want to see her. I mean, I'm sure the kids knew she was a giant a-hole to begin with, but now they really know. Why isn't she with the mystery man on social media? Probably the mystery man is probably a freaking bot from fucking Singapore or something. I don't know. They do not, however, have to see her on her birthday or theirs or for holidays. In other words, court-appointed time for her is a certain time period, and beyond that, they don't have to do it. And it says something when the court is having the kids with him. Unless that was their choice. Since they're teenagers, the judge probably asked, hey, who do you want to live with? We want to live with Dad. Okay, fine. But you guys still see her once a month, the judge says. Martha's birthday was last weekend, and our kids already had their visit done, so they didn't see her. She wanted me to agree to a family day with the four of us, and I refused, and when she pushed, I told her she had to find her soulmate, which she called her emotional affair partner, and celebrate with him. I told her I had nothing to celebrate about her anymore, and she broke down, and then her sister came for me for being cruel. The sister came for him? Did the sister, fucking show up with a baseball bat? Is her sister like some big ogre Rosie O'Donnell type with a baseball bat or something? Rosie's in Ireland right now. Maybe they're in Ireland. She told me it was bad enough losing me, and how I wouldn't even try, but she didn't deserve to lose the kids as she did, and my cruelty was wrong when she still was the mother of my kids. The kids chose not to be with you. They're teenagers. Clearly, the kids chose to be with him. I think they're old enough that the court allowed it, but the court said, well, you got to go see your mom once a month. Too bad, lady. You ruined everything. It's not, but again, still he's the bad guy here. I felt like I had a very good reason, but maybe I was cruel and it's not justified. Am I the a-hole? Not in my opinion, man. The only thing I say you're the a-hole for is that you just stayed with her too long when she was treating you like dog shit. But obviously the guy was doing it to protect the kid. Maybe he didn't want the kids to be stuck with that freaking raging psycho of his wife. I don't know, or he didn't want to get crushed in the divorce, or who knows. But regardless, he's done with her. He can start over. You think anybody's gonna want her? Oh hell no. Now, he has more comments here I'm going to read so you know more what's going on. A lot of people are giving him shit in the comment section. It says, I'm not the person who turned the kids against her. They saw how she treated me, and they learned from her that it was worse than they had seen. None of that was because of anything I said or did. When that was going on, I tried to protect them from it. Yeah, somebody was giving a hard time about how things turned out with the kids not wanting to be with her. He says, I never would have told the kids how bad things got or what happened. She made that choice without me. Another one, he says, I have the kids in therapy already to help them work through everything that has happened. I've not found the resources to get therapy for myself at the moment. Eventually, I'm sure I will. So what a good dad. He could probably, in his mind, he could use some therapy, but he's going to help the kids first. Another one, he says, the wishes of my kids were somewhat taken into account by the judge. Aha. But he refused to stop all contact between them and their mom, which is why she gets only 1 week in a month and not more any time. So that says something. When the kids, Dad said they wanted to go stay with Dad, and the court was like, no problem. And she probably has to pay child support to him because the kids are staying with him. I love it. And last one, he says it doesn't. The kids didn't want to see her for her birthday. They prefer not to spend any time with her. Well, kids are smart. That's her karma. That's what she gets for treating this guy like shit. I'm sure nobody's perfect. I'm sure this dude, he ain't. I'm sure he probably isn't perfect. I'm sure he's done everything right, but nobody deserves to be treated like that. She's just a miserable human being. And the sad thing is, there's so many marriages out there just like that. And the worst thing is, there's so many marriages that the guy will stay with someone like that. It's like, for heaven's sake, at the very least, when the kids are a certain age, end it, for God's sake. So, guys out there, sounds like your situation. Please take this to heart. End it. Find out your options. It's better than staying in a situation like this. And all you ex-husbands out there, and I know I got some watching this, you're going to comment away. You know what? It sounds familiar. I bet you're so happy in a peaceful life now once you got off the pot. So, good job.